Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the pronoun I is used maximum. If you count different words, the maximum used word is I. Maya tatamidam sarvam jagadam rattamurtina aham vaishvanaro bhutva. Everywhere I. So the Lord must be very egoistic. So, when here we are studying the experience of the wise man who is abiding in the Absolute, and he says, Ekoham avikaloham nirmala nirvana murtirevaham nira avayavoham ayoham kevala sanmatra sarabhutoham. How much aham. Now see, when we call the gold as a wedding ring, and when we call the gold as gold, so what is the difference? Calling the gold as a wedding ring is an abuse, because the limitations of names and forms are imposed, not superimposed. The importance of names and forms is imposed on the gold. And thereafter, the ornaments become important, meaning the name and the form becomes important and not the substance. But when we call the gold as gold, it is not being egoistic. Number one. Number two. When it is said, if you want to see the colors and forms, you must use your eyes and no other sense organs. Why are you so obsessed? Let the people use whatever sense organ they use. It is not obsession, it is a statement of fact. Therefore, when in scriptures this aham is used, we have to be clear with reference to what this aham is made. So when I say, I am miserable, I am happy, I am successful, I am failure. So this I, there are so many I's, and therefore inside we are not one, but we are a crowd. And wherever there is a crowd, there is a noise. So when we talk to ourselves, what we do, we only raise a question against somebody. If he says like that, then I will say like that. So this he versus I is a limited I, not the real I. Therefore here, the meaning of aham is brought out. So who is this I? So ekoham. Are we many inside or one? Even if we take Vaker, this Vaker is not one. Then there are so many, husband, brother, father, mother, wife. Ekoham. So among so many, which is the one? Dehoham, I am the one. Now from there we go further. Do we have only the waking experience, or we also have any other experience? So we have waking, dream, deep sleep, samadhi. So there are 4 aham again. I the waker, I the dreamer, I the deep sleeper, I the samadhi. So ekoham. Now in these multiple eyes, what is that one? This is what is meant over here. Like Bhagavan Krishna says, Mattaha smriti jnanam apohanancha. It is on account of me alone. The waking, dream, deep sleep and samadhi is possible. So in so many eyes, the one which is eka, one without a second, that is the real I. So when we are abiding in the truth, this will be the experience, ekoham. And therefore, avikaloham. Vikala means, kala means aspects. Vikalaha. Not vikalanga. Vikalaha. The one who doesn't have any aspect. Like the space doesn't have any aspect. Therefore, ekoham avikaloham. Then nirmala, nirvana murtireva. Nirmala. There is no impurity of otherness. Impurity is only of otherness. There is no other impurity. In the deep sleep, there is no sense of otherness. Therefore, there is no impurity. Therefore, we are all at peace. So, nirmaloham. Then, nirvana murti revaham. So, nirvana murti means nirvana. Va is also used to indicate birth. No. This word, Banaras, how is it formed? The other day when I was telling somebody in Banaras only. Do you know how the word Banaras is formed? No. I said, look here, the derivation. Varna is one river and Asi is another river. The place between these two rivers is called as Varanasi. Now, these people from UP and Bihar, they chant or say, Va for work. It has become Varanasi. Now, again in UP, the last matra is dropped when they talk. Rashtrapati is a Rashtrapati. So, Varanasi has become Varanasi and that E is dropped. Therefore, it is Banaras. Ras ban gaya. So, Nirvana means, Vana means the pains, the limitations. Nirvana, that experience of freedom from all limitations. Nirvana Murti Deva. Which are the limitations we carry? Only 3 limitations, not many. But they are enough to make us miserable. One limitation is that of the place, desha. Second is that of the kala, time. Third is that of the vastu. So what is the limitation of kala or the time? You know, in UK, many years before, there used to be one theatre and in these British ladies go for anything, they are very well dressed. And one of the things in their dress is a big hat. And when they used to sit, the people behind them will not be able to sit. So that lady will not sit steady. Like, you know, in our country, Sardarji, when somebody sits in front of you. So the management was very much worried what is to be done. So one Indian Gujarati got up. He said, I can sort it out. Don't worry. But this much you will have to pay. Gujarati means business. Therefore, the maximum temples and the devotees are from Gujarat. They do business with Bhagavan also. I will come for conducting the Bhagavad Katha, provided you give me this much. So the Virati got up. So he signed the contract and next day he went. When all of them were sitting, he said, ladies and gentlemen, those ladies who are above the age of 40, they are allowed to keep their felt hat on their head. Youngsters need not. All the hats came down. Because ladies never grow beyond 40. So, time, then space, this is my size. 4 by 6. Just now when I went to the ISKCON temple, we came across one gentleman. Oh, it was such a joy. He was not able to bend and walk. Huge one. This is my size. And then Vastu, I am only 1 ton. So, Desha Kala Vastu, these 3 limitations are equal to identification with the body. Nirvana means, although I am functioning through the body, but the limitations of the body do not make any sense to me. Because Nira Avayavoham, and therefore the body has got the parts or the limbs. See, space does not have limbs. These north, east, west, south directions, they are only imaginary. They are not real. Because how the directions are decided? The sun rises in the east. Within the east, where the sun rises. Where the sun rises? In the east. So because of the sun, it is the east, or because of the east, it is the sun. Therefore, all these limitations are possible only in the finite. Avayava parts are not possible in the infinite or the absolute. Like you take 1 rupee. 1 rupee is complete. Earlier, 1 rupee is to be equal to 64 paisa. Then we started becoming more and more modern and developed society. So the first thing we did from the railway, removed 1, the 3rd class, removed 1. Suddenly we became progressive. And out of that 1 rupee, only 64 paisa, no, 100 paisa. So whether it is 100 or 64, these are only imaginary fractions. Nira avayoham. There are no fractions. And therefore, ajaha aham. Aja, unborn. Now each and every word must bring us back to our. See, today I was doing some editing, and it was regarding the mantra sadhana. The sutra is Chittam Mantra. When we say Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, so this sound takes us away from ourselves. That is not mantra. Mantra means when the meaning of that word is deducted in the understanding of I, then it is a mantra sadhana. Take an example. Here it happened. Once I was called for the Lions Club meeting, and so many people were doing something. And I was sitting on the dais, about half a dozen chairs this side, and I was in this side. And the program was yet to start. So there was one lady just walking across the big dais for no reason. When she has put on this, designer sari and designer jute, everything designer. So she was designed to walk. And I was seeing, and when I had nothing to do, I enjoyed it. So then I thought, how to make, best use of the time. I said, Amma, excuse me. Because she wanted some attention from somebody, poor fellow, walking all the time, but nobody paying attention. See? And we are Sarva Bhuta Hidayarata. So I called her. I said, Amma, please. By the way, what's your name? Oh, my name is Bhavana. What is the meaning of Bhavana? I don't know, my mom gave. I said, Bhavana means useless. Bhavana means no value. How come? I said, Bhav means what? आम क्या भाव है? Na means nahi. So you are useless. This is what your mother said. Her walking stopped. See? But why my mother said like that? I said, no, it's not like that. I thought you are intelligent, therefore I was telling you. If somebody asks you what is the meaning of bhavana, you should say, bhavana means I. When we say Sri Ram, by what we say Sri Ram? By the mind. So where from Sri Ram begins? From the mind. So it begins from the mind, Sri Ram. It is maintained in the mind. And when the Sri Ram ends, it dissolves in the mind. It is something like heaving by the ocean. So Chittam Mantraha. The meaning of the mantra is ultimately directed to the self. And therefore, here, Aham Ajaha. So when we say Ajaha Aham, Aja means what? Unborn. So don't look anywhere outside. Say, Bhagwan, unborn. No, you are unborn. No. How I got a date of birth? How I am unborn? One sweet small little girl asked me, Swamiji, what is your date of birth? I said, come here. And I told her very soft, don't tell anybody. Because I have never told anybody in my whole life. You are the first. And then she went to her mother. You told that Swamiji doesn't tell his date of birth. He told me. What is that? 31st April. See, I don't know. So for a change, the mother was intelligent. And then she started laughing. Why are you laughing, Mom? There is no 31st. Somebody tells us, this is your date of birth. Okay? And in many places in UP, Bihar, etc., they tell that teacher, Master ji, aap likh lo no jo chahiye. So the teachers, I have seen this thing in UP and some places. The whole register is filled with the names, all of them have got same date of birth. 1st July. Was it a battalion of birth? And that becomes real for us. Ajaha, aham. Meaning, we do not have the experience of birth. Then why become miserable? It's not only objective understanding. This is what is one of the biggest problems for all the intellectuals. They try to understand. Don't understand. Stand under this. So, ajoham kevala sanmatra sarabhutoham. Sanmatra. It is not existence of. It is existence itself. This existence is a common denominator with everything. The inert things exist, the moving things exist, the living things exist, the dead things exist, the good days exist, the bad days exist, to the extent that the absence exists. Therefore, in Kathopanishad, it is said, Asti iti upalabdhamyaha tattva bhavena prasidati. The one who has recognized this truth as existence, he will naturally come back to himself because we cannot experience our absence. Everything is possible to be recognized as is or is not. But when it comes to our own being, there is no option given whether I am or I am not. Therefore, kevala sanmatra sara bhutoham. So every mantra, every word can bring us back to our own self. This is the meaning of study of Upanishad. But when we study the Puranas and all that, there are so many stories, so many people, so many relations. One day, one child asked me this question. Swamiji, what was the name of the parents of Shravan Kumar? I said, go to Google. Because it is only academic. Here it is not academic. Upanishadic study is not academic erudition. It has to be a subjective application. Therefore, when we use some objects for explanation, like one lady in LA, she told me, Swamiji, I want to convert the whole scientific art of living, 18 chapters of Gita, into PowerPoint. And what will you do? So when the people want to understand, they can play the PowerPoint, they can understand. Krishna, you bring Krishna's picture, and then what he said, and then click, then the second word, Arjuna understood. It should be a very lively Bhagavad Gita. Yes. Objectivity is the first and the last obstacle to be transcended. And when the objectivity is not discarded, our body identification cannot go on. Therefore, kevala sanmatra sara bhutoham, niravadhi nijabodhoham, shubhatara bhavoham, apravedyoham, vibhuhu aham, anavedyoham, niravadhi nisyamatattvamatroham. Niravadhi nijabodhoham. I am the unbroken experience. The other day I told you the word knowledge, jnanam, and bodha experience. Experience can be of two types. One is that experience which is the translation of the knowledge into experience. Knowledge is, if you touch fire, you will get burned. Knowledge. And thereafter, you touch the fire and you get burned. That is the experience. So knowledge converted into experience. Second type of experience is that where knowledge is not involved. See, for example, I am in this experience, knowledge is not involved. This is an experience which is not preceded by knowledge. If this experience is not preceded by knowledge, then niravadhi bodharokoham, unbroken experience. All other experiences are broken, which are born out of knowledge. I am waker only during the waking stage. I am an officer only in the office. One person was asked, "Yeah, in the office you are like a tiger, but when you come home, why don't you continue to be tiger? Why you are afraid?" I am at home also tiger. Who told you I am not tiger at home? Only thing, Shiravali is sitting on there. So, all the experiences which are in the relative world, they are broken experiences. They are not continuous. So here, Niravadhi Nijabodha Bodhoham. I am this unbroken, continuous, uncreated, and therefore unending being. Niravadhi Bodhoham. Shubhatara Bhavoham. And my experience is Shubhatara. Taratamya. Shubhatara means better than the best. Experiences which involve any medium cannot be the best, because they will be limited by the media through which we are experiencing. So the best experience will be which does not involve any means of knowledge. Okay. Like when you are listening to me, if your mind runs here and there, what is said will not be registered. But your own being, whether you are awake or sleeping, continues to be the same. Aprabhedyoham, and therefore I am beyond all limitations and dimensions. I cannot be measured in terms of any description. Vibhuhu aham anavedyoham. I am all pervading. Vibhu means vividam bhavati, and the one who has become everything and yet continues to be the one. These statements, which I am telling you, they are worthy of reflection. Try this. Stand before a mirror and then keep one more mirror. Then keep one more mirror. So with every addition of a mirror, there will be one more reflection. So have we become many? Because of the many mirrors, there is an illusion of multiplicity. And that mirror is a conditioning, upadhi. So when I am expressing through the mirror or through the conditioning of the mirror, then I have become many. Now when I have become many, is there any addition to me? And when all the mirrors are removed, will I ever feel, come on, I am losing everything? No. Exactly the same. With upadhi of waking, dream, deep sleep and samadhi, we as if have become four. With the upadhi of the intellect, we become waker. With the upadhi of the mind, we become dreamer. With the upadhi of the ahankar, we become deep sleeper. With the upadhi of the chitta, we become the samadhistha purusha. So, this one conscious reality supporting all the four upadhis, and therefore four types of experiences. See? The experience in the office before the subordinates is different. The experience at home before the wife is different. The experience on the road while driving the car is different. Because every time there is a different condition. But the one who is supporting all this conditioning, he has never become many. And therefore, Vibhuhu Aham, although I have as if become many, yet my non-duality continues to be the same. And therefore, Anavadyoham, there is no impurity or limitation born out of anything. We attend to. If our reflection is in a good mirror or a bad mirror, will the quality of the mirror ever affect us? Once I took a group of children in some Mela, Hyderabad, and I was going with them everywhere, all kinds of rides and everything. Then one of the student boys said, come on, let us do something what Swami likes. He is just coming with us. Okay. So where we studied, there was a mirror house. I said, let us go in the mirror house. Come on, Swami, don't be dumb. We thought we'll do something better. I said, okay, do whatever you like, I follow you. Immediately the other, don't say like that. Did Swamiji object anything we don't? Let us go here. On up. First mirror, when we enter the mirror house, there you stand in front, you look like a tapeworm. And then all the children started laughing. The next mirror you stand, immediately you look like a kaddu, like a pumpkin. And half a dozen mirrors, and the last mirror, normal. When we came out, then the Swamiji, this was the best in the whole place. They said, what was the best? We could see so many forms of ours without becoming anybody. This is the joy of Bhagavan. He reflects in the human body and experiences the human experience. He reflects in the plant body, experiences the plant experiences, and yet he is other than all of them. Now apply this principle. Reflect in wife as a husband. But know that neither the man is miserable, nor the reflection is miserable. When we see the reflection in the mirror like a tapeworm, is that tapeworm real? No. It is only an appearance. With this knowledge alone we can live in this world. See, when we take these expressions through the upadhi or the conditioning, that's real. They are not real. Therefore, neither the original face is influenced by the quality of the mirror, nor the reflection is influenced by the quality of the mirror. The original face is not influenced by the quality of the mirror, we can understand. How come the reflection is not affected? Because we see it is abnormal reflection. Are Baba, it will be influenced by the quality of the mirror if it is there. Is it there? It is not there. See, in the same manner, when we are able to recognize this all-pervading reality functioning through every experience, and yet not becoming any experiencer, that I am Vibhu Aham Anavadyoham Niravadhi Sima Tattva Matroham, and therefore I am this infinite, unconditioned, absolute, conscious, blissful being. All these expressions are negating what we have been asserting in life. Because the unknown is always indicated with the reference of the known. This is the method of transfer of knowledge. Do you know Gupta ji? No, I don't know. Arey yaar, he is the son-in-law of our Verma ji. Oh, Verma ji, I know very well. So, earlier Gupta ji was not known, but Verma ji was known. So now Gupta became known. So what is known to us? Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. So that which does not have form, that which does not have smell, that which does not have touch, that which does not have sound, that which does not have taste, that is that. Because these are the only things we know. See, friends. Similarly, We know joy and sorrows. So that there is neither joy nor sorrows. So by this process, what is happening? We are first rejecting the objective world of objects. Then we are rejecting the senses through which we are coming in contact with the world. Apanipado hamachinta shakti. Without the hands and the legs, I am endowed with infinite power. And in this manner, slowly, all that is known is rejected. And that which cannot be rejected, we reach. Therefore, every mantra is highly contemplated. So one of the techniques given in many places is this. Hold on to one of the two things for longer time. Either hold on to the absence of form or hold on to the absence of sound. One of them. How can we hold on to the absence of form? Sit in your room. Keep your eyes open. See everything in your room. Switch off. Not a speck of light. But don't close your eyes. Your eyes are seeing, but there is nothing to see. So seeing without something seen cannot create a seer. So only seeing is happening. Similarly, if you take the support of the sound, then sound, thereafter expose yourself to the silence. Means what? Try to listen to silence. When you start listening to silence, those subtle sounds which we normally miss, such as the sounds of the cricket, the sounds of the insects, all will become very conspicuous. Don't pay attention. Then we come to this point. Sounds are heard by the ears. Silence cannot be heard by the ears. But in the ears, as well as in the absence of the ears, we continue to be. That is our message. This is more subjective than a mechanical spiritual life. Living in utter alertness, utter awareness. With this, then you go anywhere. Go to the temple, go to cinema, go to the party. Doesn't make any difference. But if this awareness is not there, then we'll go to the temple and start evaluating. Why Hindu temples are so good? Because all the Hindus come and they throw their dirt, become pure and go home. Therefore they are oh yes. Therefore, Vibhuhu aham anamadyoham niravadi sīmatadvamādyoham vedyoham agamantaraihi anadya sakala bhuvana rudyoham paramanandakanoham paramanandaika bhumarupoham vedyaha aham agamantaraihi anadya. In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwan says, Vedaischa sarvai ahameva vedyaha. Vedya means there are two meanings. Vedya means what is known. Vedya means worthy of knowing also. So what is worthy of knowing in this world? Aham eva Vedya. This I must be correctly known. We have got knowledge about so many things. करीना कपूर ने कौन सा ड्रेस पहना था? धोबी हो गया. How does it matter? Vedya. What is worthy of knowing? Aham eva Vedya. And for knowing this aham, who this I is, Vedaishcha sarvaihi. Here also, Vedyaha aham agamantaraihi. By the study of the Upanishad alone, this aham is revealed. Be very attentive. In Karma Kanda, Jiva is the hero. In Yoga, Jiva is the superhero. In devotion, Jiva is the miserable hero. But when you come to the study of Upanishad, then you find out who wants darshan. Unless our inquiry kindles here as to who am I, we are still at the periphery of our personality. When we migrate towards the center, all the non-essentials automatically get dropped. Meaning, now the world is having minimum influence on us. You must have sometimes sat in that big giant hill movie. If you sit and when it moves, when the cradle comes down, what happens in your stomach? Ooh. But as you start going toward the center, the pivot around which the huge wheel is moving, come to the pivot. Let the wheel move. Pivot is not influence. In the same manner, let us be at the center of our personality. I, the man, is the center. Husband is at the periphery. Father is at the periphery. The son is at the periphery. The father-in-law is at the periphery. The son-in-law is at the periphery. And when we are thus living at the periphery of our personality, there will be up and down, joy and sorrow, then love and hatred, achievement and failure. This will be the only story that we know. But from this periphery, come migrate towards and be man. Everything stands strong. Therefore, Vedyoham Agamantaraihi Aradhyaha. And this is worthy of worship. Bhagavan Shankaracharya writes, Atma Tvam Girijamati Sahachara Prana Shariram Gruham Pujati Vishayopabhogarachana Nidra Samani Sthitihi Sanchara Padayo Pradakshina Vidhi Stotrani Sarvagiro Yad Yad Karma Karomi Tattadakhilam Shambho Tavaradhanam Atma Atvam Girija Matihi. The Lord is the Supreme Self. That is what you are. And Mati Girija. Girija, wife of Lord Shiva. Not Sati, Girija. Or the Gauri or Aparna. What was the difference between Sati and this Gauri or Parvati? What was the difference? Sati was arrogant and never listened to her husband. Parvati was the one who was following her in the same manner. Whether our intellect is dragging us in the world or the intellect is following the reality. Mati Sahachara Prana. And all the Sahachara, the supporting Ganas are Prana. Meaning, is our knowledge and Kriya Shakti supporting us to merge in the reality or not? Therefore, Vedyoham Agamantarahi Aradhyaha. And what is the Aradhana? Pujati Vishayopabhoga Rachana. Every experience is thy worship, O Lord. Eyes do not see for themselves. The tongue does not eat for herself. The nose doesn't smell for itself. There is somebody for whom all the servants are bringing the ahutis and offering. That is what is the truth. Sakala Bhuta Ruddyoham. I am the heart of the whole world. What is the meaning of the heart of the whole world? Be very attentive. Gold says, I am the heart of all the ornaments. Means, if the heart fails, the life departs. In the same manner, if we remove the gold, ornaments cannot exist. So every ornament is the house of gold. It's a very peculiar thought, try to get it. Okay. House is that where somebody resides. House is that which has a name and a form. So when Bhagavan says, everything and being, every place is my home, means behind every name and form, I is the reality. Now, see in your own self. Hand has a different form, stomach has a different form. Behind the hand and behind the stomach, there is but one reality. So for practical purposes, they are different from each other. But the differences do not create an attitude of differentiation towards the differences. Therefore, this me is the ultimate blissful reality. Come to discover Paramananda Ghanoham. Ghana means other than this, nothing else is. See, Santa Gyaneshwar gives the best expression about the truth of all the places that I read. He explains the three spaces. One is this Bhutakash, which is having two qualities. One is, it is emptiness. Because there is emptiness, it can support. So, this space supports two things, name and the form. Forms are supported by the space. Names are also supported by the space. Because Shabda, sound, is the Tanmatra of the space. Therefore, space is called technically as Akash. This Akash word is derived from the original root called as Kash. Kash Diptam. Kash means Prakash. So Prakasha, Akash. So this gross space is the one which supports both name and form. But the gross space supports the name and the form by remaining empty. Same is the case with the Chittakash. The mental space supports all the names and forms of all the thoughts. Good thought, bad thought, holy thought, unholy thought, greedy thought, non-greedy thought. Everything is supported by the mental space. There also emptiness is required. But when we come to Chidakash, Chidakasha is a solid space. See the contradiction? Space, but it is a solid space. How can something solid support something? Now understand this. There was a big rock and there were a few more around. One day one sculptor came and he was looking around and he selected this our rock and then he started putting some lines here and there, took his chisel and hammer and started it. And then a beautiful idol came. So the rock was solid, isn't it? So inside the solid rock, there was this beautiful idol. In the same manner, Chidakasha is a solid space. Meaning, in Chidakasha, other than the Chaitanya, nothing else is. But in case of the Chittakasha or the Bhutakasha, in Chittakasha, other than the Chitta, there are thoughts and the contents of the thoughts. In case of the Bhutakasha, other than the Akasha, the space, there are other four elements, names and forms. But when it comes to Chidakasha, it is a solid space. Meaning, other than this, nothing else is, although it contains everything, yet nothing it has other than itself. Like all the waves of the past, present and future, they are all contained in the same ocean. They are not injected from outside. So ocean for all practical purposes is a solid one. So from that solid ocean, all the waves come, dance and disappear. Because in the ocean, other than the ocean, nothing else is. The same way. When we are at the surface of the ocean, too many waves. When you dive deep, may not be too deep, hardly 10 feet you go, there are no waves. Now apply the same principle. When we are at the surface of our personality, possessions and relations, this is the surface of our personality. There will be buffeting, movement of ups and downs. Dive deep, as we do in deep sleep, no possessions, no relations, no buffeting, all joy. This migration from the periphery to the center is a spiritual journey. Here we don't have to go to hell and heaven. Live for others. Shuddhoham, Advayoham, Santata Bhavoham, Adishunyoham, Shabitanta Tritayoham, Baddho Muktoham, Adbhudataham. Shuddhoham, Advayoham. I am immaculate pure because I am non-dual. Wherever there is duality, there is impurity. Wherever there is a sense of otherness, there is impurity. Wherever there is a sense of otherness, there is impurity of desires in the mind, fear in the mind, greed in the mind. Upanishad says, Dvitiyatmai bhayam bhavati. The sense of otherness is the cause of all the miseries in life. Therefore, Shuddhoham, Advayoham, Santata Bhavoham. Santata Bhava means unbroken experience of one's being. Childhood experience has come and gone. Teenage experience has come and gone. Middle-age experience has come and gone. But we never have the experience that we have come and gone. Santata Bhavo. This unbroken, continuous presence is our essential nature. And Adishunyoham, I do not have the beginning, Adishunya. It's so true. We don't have the experience of our beginning. One of the techniques indicated for this particular approach is very simple. This also can help us in controlling your mind. This technique is called as tracing the path of knowledge or the thought. Like you are sitting for, your prayers or meditation and keep on chanting. Shri Ram, Le Ram, Le Ram, Shri Ram, Le Ram, Le Ram, Shri Ram, Le Ram. Jayam was not well. What happened? Many times, he was really very peculiar person. But anyway, he was not there. I heard about him. Here he was there. He was in Delhi. But he can't be in Delhi. Because there is nobody that he belongs to in Delhi. And they, Hare Taura, Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram. Now trace back. How you reach Delhi? So, Delhi. Then relations. Then Jara. Then health. Then he was the source of joy for me. Then where from Jairam came? Jairam. Oh, Jairam could be there. It is something like, this telescopic antenna. When you undo it, it becomes long. But when you again collapse it, it goes the reverse way. Exactly this. This is one technique. Rather than getting frustrated, I don't know, no, try this. And when you try this technique, you will see that it is very simple, it's not difficult. Then Adishunyoham, another technique. Today I am 80 years of age. Very good. What is the image that you have in your mind? Buddha. Image number one. Then go 10 years back. 70. What is the image? Yes. Then go back again. 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, 1, 6 months, 1 month in the womb of the mother. Do we begin from absence? From absence, nothing comes out. And therefore we are told that the jiva enters the body in the womb of the mother at the age of 5 months. So, body is born, but the embodied who entered that particular body was not born. Unless he existed, how can he enter? So, birth and death pertain to the body, neither to the jiva, soul, nor to the Paramatma. Like when we switch on the light, light is born. When we switch off, the light is dead. Is it a birth and death? No, it is manifestation and unmanifestation. Therefore, Adishunyoham, I am without any beginning and end. Shamitanta Tritayoham. Therefore, all these 3 factors are heightened in me. The 3 factors are Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. 3 factors are experiencer, experiencer, experiencer. 3 factors are Jagra, Sapna, Sushupti. Three factors are Jiva Jagat Ishvara. All these तीन पत्ती का खेल खत्म. Therefore, Shamitanta Tritayoham Baddhoham Muktoham. I am alone bound and I am alone liberated. Therefore, Adbhutatmaham. I am very funny. Don't we ourselves say, I am very. Since how long? No, last 10 minutes. We are only playing the role that I am miserable, I am happy, and I am young, I am old. Is it not Adbhutatma? Funny character. When identified with the health, I am healthy. Identified with the disease, I am unhealthy. See, friends. Whenever we have some problem, health problem, we must remember one great suggestion. That we are still alive. So if you get backache, thank God I am still alive. If there is no pain in your body or in your mind or in your senses, then something is wrong with you. Pain is the sign of life. How do you know somebody is a husband? On the face. The facial expressions of husband has a pathetic beauty. Shmitahantritayam Vaddoham Buddham Adbhutatmaham. I am Adbhuta. Adbhuta means what? Who is never born? Bhuta is becoming born. Adbhuta. So everything is happening in me, but nothing is happening to me. Like the mirror reflects the fire, but the reflection of the fire doesn't burn the mirror. The mirror reflects the waters, but the reflection of the waters doesn't melt the mirror. In the same manner, Adbhutatma. I see all colors and forms, but none of them influence the eyes. Ears hear all kinds of sounds, but none of them touch the ears. The mind entertains every kind of thought, good and bad, but the mind remains untouched by them. So also, the ultimate, the pure consciousness supports waking, dream, deep sleep and samadhi, Stri, Purusha, Pashu, Pakshi, all kinds of upadhis. But because consciousness is expressing through the donkey, it is not wise, and the consciousness is expressing through the man, it is not fool. Unattachment and not getting influenced by is our natural condition. In fact, we are not attached to anything. Attachment is only an illusion. You must have seen many places when somebody dies, don't look at the dead fellow, listen to the dialogue of the live one. And what are their dialogues? अब हमारा क्या होगा? अरे you died, who cares? So simple it is. Therefore, when we are thus working on, slowly, we come to discover essentially we are unattached. We are not attached to anything. If we are attached, we cannot sleep. Many years before, when I went to USA in the 80s, so somebody's house. So there, one boy, those days when the NRIs used to come to India, they used to look down upon India, poor country. So according to Americans, there are only two types of countries. One is old developed country like theirs. Second is like our country, never developed. You can't develop India because infinite cannot be improved. It is like this only. So when I went to their house, and next day when I got up, he asked me, how did you like the bed? I said, hey, I am not a bed bug. No, but do you get such a bed in India? I said, in India we believe in sleep, not in the bed. Here, you are all the time worried about the bed because you don't get the sleep. If you get sleep, it doesn't matter where you are lying down. In satsang also, people never fall asleep. Sitting in a vertical position. Therefore, we are not attached to anything or anybody in this. If you come to realize this understanding clearly, you will be with everybody in this world. Yet, non-attachment means we will not be influenced by the presence or absence of anything or being. Husband and wife, they are attacking each other. Does it mean like a USB hits all the time? No. Attachment, all the time thinking about each other. That is attachment. One day, one couple went to the doctor, and the lady started telling, Dr. Saab, my husband keeps on talking whole night, and therefore my sleep gets disturbed. So please do something. So the doctor went to the doctor. He took out some pills from his drawer. He said, Amma, you take this. Before you start your day in the morning, do this. And take 3 times a day, 2 pills. Dr. Saab, you are having some wrong understanding. I am talking about my husband. He talks the whole night. Why you are giving me the pills? So in the daytime, when you take the pills, he will not talk. Then he will get a chance to talk during the day. Then he doesn't have to talk at night. Nobody is attached to anything or anybody in this. This is just an illusion. With this understanding, live full life. When you are taking food, enjoy every bite. No, I am not attached. थोड़ा अचार दे ही दो. This is not the way, friends. Attachment is only a mental obsession. शुद्धोहम आंतरोहम शाश्वत विज्ञान समरसात्माहम शोधित परतत्वोहम बोधानंदैक मूर्तिरेवाहम. शुद्धोहम आंतरोहम. I am the most auspicious in earth. Like gold does not become holy or unholy if a statue is made out of the gold for Rama and the other statue is made for Ravana. Because of that, gold doesn't become good or bad. Although it is supporting all the names and forms in the same manner. I am the support, antaric support. I am the support of everything in this world. Therefore, Suddhoham Antaroham Shashvata Vijnana Samarasatmaham. And I am this eternal knowledge, Shashvata, which cannot be negated by the influence of time is Shashvata. Eternal, ever the same. Now see, we don't get the following experiences in our life. Number one, experience of birth. Number two, experience of growth. Number three, experience of death. Number four, experience of our own absence. This we cannot have. Therefore, Shashwata Vijnana Samarasatmaham Shodhita Paratatoham Shodhita Paratatvaha. And this I or the me has to be recognized only through inquiry. See, when the Tattvamasi Mahavakya Upadesh is explained by the great teachers, they use two terms. One term they use is the Tvam-pada Shodhanam and Tat-pada Shodhanam. Tat-tvam asi. Tat that, tvam thou, asi art. It's not a Punjabi statement. Asi, to see. So tat means what? Tat-pada Shodhanam. Shodhanam, inquiry. Who is that? Tat. So this tat dhatu also means tanoti iti tat. The one which can expand. Therefore,